Israel strikes Iran's Isfahan airport. Iran's F-14 fighter jets have been destroyed. Israel claims that Iran's air defense system has been hit. And meanwhile, Israel intercepted missiles over Jerusalem. And Israel says that Iranian missiles have been intercepted in Jerusalem. So that's the latest as far as the conflict between Israel and Iran is concerned. Israel in the latest has struck Iran's Isfahan airport. The latest detail that we're getting is that Israel has struck Iran's Isfahan airport and the F-14 fighter jets have been destroyed in Iran. And Israel also claims that the air defense system has been hit. Meanwhile, Israel continues to intercept missiles over Jerusalem. The Iranian missile strikes continue on Israel, and Israel continues to intercept those Iranian missiles, and they have been intercepted in Jerusalem. So Israel has struck Iran's Isfahan airport. Remember, there's a nuclear facility also that's present in Isfahan, and now Israel has struck Iran's Isfahan airport, and in fact it also claims that it has destroyed F-14 fighter jets in Iran. So during a broad wave of strikes, Israel struck the Isfahan airport in Iran. So the West Asia war has entered Day 9, and the attacks from both Israel and Iran refuse to die down. Both the nations up the ante against each other in back-to-back missile strikes in multiple cities. Massive blaze engulfs Tehran's Agassiz fuel depot. Fire smoke billows Agassiz fuel depot in Tehran. Iran's key oil infrastructures have been hit by Israeli missiles. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's ultimatum to Iran: lay down your weapons now, won't harm you if you surrender. High-rise building, in fact, was on fire in Kuwait City as the Gulf state also faces wave of drone attacks from Iran. Flames were seen leaping into the night sky as a massive fire tore through a high-rise building in Kuwait City early on Sunday. We're showing you the visuals also. So tensions continue. The war is raging. And it's already Day 9 of the West Asia war, but the attacks from both Israel and Iran refuse to die down. In fact, in the latest, what we're learning is that Israel has struck the Isfahan airport in Iran, and Israel also claims that it has destroyed F-14 fighter jets in Iran. And if we talk about Israel, Israel continues to intercept the missiles from Iran, and this is being done in Jerusalem. There were Iranian missiles that were intercepted in Jerusalem. So both the sides remain defiant, and they refuse to back down, and the war is only raging. And remember, an ultimatum has also been issued by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to Iran to surrender, and he has said that we won't harm you if you surrender. Remember, this comes after the ultimatum by US President Donald Trump, who urged unconditional surrender, but Iran has denied. It remains defiant, and it has said that unconditional surrender is definitely not going to happen. So despite these ultimatums, there's no backing down. In fact, the strikes and the counter strikes continue. My colleague Sweta Singh is now joining us from the war zone. She's reporting from the Israel-Jordan border. Sweta, both the sides refuse to back down, be it Israel or Iran, and we're learning that in the latest, Israel has now struck the Isfahan airport in Iran.
Yes, Anjali. In fact, there have been reports to that extent, and Israel is the one that is claiming that they have struck the Isfahan airport. And for the past few days, we should not forget that not just on the Day 3 of the conflict, America first released pictures of its B-2 bombers and then said that we have struck the nuclear and the missile storage site at Isfahan. But again, yesterday, Isfahan came under a lot of attack from the Israeli forces. Iran has been attacking Israel also in retaliation. And last night, even in Jordan, I could see a lot of interceptions all night long, as well as the West Bank and Jerusalem, as I cross it right now, the part of the Palestine that is governed by Israel. So in this entire area, there have been occasional sirens suddenly going off, and a while later, there have been alarms saying that now everything is okay. But it is an intense battle. There is intense shelling done from the side of Iran as well, and from retaliation from Israel, and pinpointed strikes at places in Iran, especially Isfahan. They have been told to suffer more losses today after Isfahan's airport was struck, and the fighter jets have been actually snowballed on the ground. You would remember that on the second day of the conflict, Israel had struck on the entire fleet of F4s that was parked at the airbase before they could take a flight. They were just they were demolished on ground, and now again in another fresh wave of attacks, the Iranian Air Force has come under attack. All the fighter jets have been destroyed, and so it's been claimed by Israel so far. The F-14s that have been on the ground have been struck. It was a broad wave of strikes that took place, and the Israeli force struck the military compounds within the regime, which had the F-14 aircrafts. Anjali.
Right. So Sweta is getting us all those updates right from the war zone. She's on her way to Israel. She's reporting from Jordan-Israel border. Sweta is yet to reach Israel. But Sweta, you were in Jordan last night. Tell us about the situation over there and the extent of damage that has been caused so far due to the Iranian strikes.
Anjali, Jordan was attacked on the first 2 days of the war because there is a U.S. base in Jordan. It was attacked, and yesterday or day before, I would say, the satellite images of the destruction to the U.S. The THAAD system was released, and the U.S. even accepted that yes, we have suffered losses to the THAAD radar system, which means that the air defense was compromised. While Jordan is not targeted by the Iranian forces, and they have clarified it, yet yesterday the Brigadier General of the Armed Forces of Jordan had specified that the various targets in Jordan that were where in the airspace the drones and other objects were intercepted, a good 80% were solely Jordanian targets, as they put it, and they were pretty angry about it because at least 11 civilians suffered injuries because of these attacks. So while the Jordanian targets were not identified by the Brigadier General, but at the same time to say that yes, our assets have been targeted means the exact opposite of what Iran has been claiming, and what even again today has been reiterated by Iran, that we do not have any enmity with our neighbors, and we are not targeting them. We are just targeting the places from where attacks are coming onto Iran. So while these things were clarified, Jordan also saw a lot of interceptions the entire day and night yesterday, while most of it was targeted to Israel, since Jordan, in a way, geographically sits at a location which is en route. If there is a missile or a rocket or a drone attack, it sits in the middle of between Iran and Israel, and so a lot of interceptions take place in the air of Jordan, with the entire place celebrating the month of Ramzan. There is a certain anxiety amongst the people who live here, who are waiting for the war to end as soon as it can.
So as you mentioned, there's collateral damage, and civilians are bearing the brunt of these strikes. As you reported that 10 to 11 civilians were also injured in these strikes. And are there any mass evacuation order that have been issued?
No, it is only for the American citizens and Israelis if they are living this side of the border, this side of the country. And a lot of Israelis, since I was on that flight, I could see a lot of Israeli citizens who were going back to their country, and they had been told to actually maintain complete secrecy and not reveal their identity. And they were told that they were assured that they will be facilitated in the best way available for them to cross over the border and stay there and get back to their country, because the airports in Israel are not operating. The Ben Gurion airport is not operating, and that is why the only way they can reach Israel is through the border. And all of them were suggested to take the border from Jordan, because it was safer compared to any other bordering countries. So they were told to come to Jordan, and from Jordan take any of the land borders into Israel. So apart from that, there is life is not affected in at least Jordan, because everything is taken care of here. The areas where probably the Americans could have been, where's a desolate look. The Americans have mostly left this place. The entire region, as it is, Anjali, you would be aware, is completely disturbed, and the American government has told its citizens not to venture in this general area, the entire area of the Gulf countries, and to be back to their own country or to a safer place as soon as possible. If they can't, then they are advised to stay indoors and not venture out a lot.